Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kedar, the Tiger Writes, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. And if you are looking to support me, that is on my Patreon. Today, we are doing chapter 52, part 2 of The World Which Is. So, uh, as I mentioned, as you know, the previous one pointed out, it was broken into two due to writing time and a bit of difficulty getting into it. So here goes. And when it does it, I regret it. The headbutt is fast, hard, and causes a stun debuff as I land on my back. I don't have time for that, so I will it away. It was more orange than yellow, so the drop after my willpower bar pulses is noticeable. But I'm on my feet and out of the way of its dash, slashing at its leg and cutting off a bunch of them. Okay, so those count as its underside. Now I have something to work with. Silver plays and my health bar elongates as I feel stronger. You have been buffed. Strength of the underdog. It comes at me, and when I sidestep it, I test the buff against its carapace, and the tip of my sword sinks in, but my mental rejoicing comes to an abrupt end with the buff vanishing, and in the lack of music, I hear a lot of skittering. The other centipedes are heading for her. Take the light and back up. Then I bang my sword against my shield. Come on, I'm the one you want. It's not as loud as I'd like, since there's still stuff stuck to it, but it does the job and they all turn to face me. Right. Because dealing with one of them wasn't hard enough already. I dodge as they each lunge at me, slashing at the legs as best as I can, and not making a good show of it, other than the one that bites deeper when it skitters away. It leaves a wait. Other than the one that skitters away, it leaves a trail of wetness until oh huh. Um except for one. My sword bites deeper. All right. Let's see if this is right. Because dealing with one of them wasn't hard enough already. I dodge as each lunge at me, slashing at the legs as best as I can and not making a good show of it, except for one, where my sword bites deep. When it skitters away, it leaves a trail of wetness until it is out of the circle of my light. Why do you not like for one where my sword bites deep? I don't like it, so I'm keeping the calm up. I don't care. I do not care if you do not like it. I prefer it that way. That's another problem. With the crank light no longer bathing the cavern with the crank light no longer bathing the cavern with light. I don't like it, but no longer illuminating the cavern. There we go. Illuminating the cavern. I have no way to know what they're doing in the dark. I don't step out of the way in time to avoid the pincers, and pain lances up my leg. How about I stick with the problem around me? What are the problems I can see? How about I stick with the problems I can see? I run up the closest, screaming my anger, then freeze in surprise when it rears up, spreading its multiple leg in a rather comical version of an animal, trying to make itself look bigger. I mean, it's already way too big for a centipede, so that's not adding much to This time, I see the motion in my peripheral vision and throw myself out of the way. I'm still cursing. As I get to my feet. It was right there, its underbelly exposed, and what did I do? Okay, I can be pissed at myself later. Was it an accident or was the reaction reflexive? I run at another one, screaming again, and it rears up. I am not letting this pass me by this time. I plant my sword in and cut down. Its scream is so strident it hurts, and when it shakes, I'm sent off my feet and land close. Set up my feet and land close enough to another. I can make out its pincers before my vision clears entirely. I roll aside and I swear I can hear them tear up the ground. I'm on my feet, ready to. I'm in the air again, my back hurting and down something like a full fifth of health. Fuck, this one hurt hard. I hurry to my feet, panting, and turn ready to. I'm alone in the circle of light. Okay, this isn't good. I have maybe 3 meters of light around me and another 3, I think, where I'd be able to make something out. I was a little busy fighting them to pay that close attention. I slowly step forward, listening for them moving. Instead, I pick up a trail of wetness on the ground. Before I reach its end, one of them runs into the light and I'm not fast enough. The pincers cut me and my health pulses. My swing misses, and before I fully regain my footing, I'm struck and rolling on the ground. My health is under half now. Fuck. This hits hard. They're just centipedes and 2 level under me. I should be winning this a whole lot easier. I'm on my feet as one of them enters the light, and I don't wait. I lock eyes with its head and run at it screaming like a maniac. Dungeon Centipede, level 9. Drawn in by the abundance of food, these centipedes have been evolved by the dungeon to establish its balance. Perception check failed. It rears up and I barrel into it sword first, and when it hits the back, okay. When it, okay, When it hits the back of the centipede, I pull up hard, then down. Its guts wash over me, but all I do is close my mouth, my eyes, and hold my breath until I'm on the ground, then roll away so I won't be under it if it falls forward. There was a fucking there was a fucking level 9 among them? No wonder some of the hits nearly took me down. I wipe up my eyes with the slimy back of my glove and actively don't think about what that is. When I open them, one is rushing me. I roll out of the way and put my sword in its... I roll and put my sword in its way. It's nearly yanked out of my hand as the edge bites into it after cutting a few passing leg. Its momentum carries it further, making the cut longer, and when it stops, it isn't moving. My arm aches, but I don't have a debuff or lost health doing that, so I get to my feet and another one is before me. Only its head in the light, I focus on it. Dungeon Centipede, level 9. Drawn in by the abundance of food, these centipedes have been evolved by the dungeon to establish a balance. Perception check failed. And of course, it's the two I didn't check before the fight that were higher level. At least I know how to deal with them. I run as I scream, but instead of rearing, it skitters back and I have to follow so it won't vanish outside the light. I think it's the last one, but I won't know for sure until I check the combat log, and now isn't the time. Stop running, you coward! Oh, real clever, like it understands you. Then it zags when I expect it to zig, and it's no longer in the light. I stop and listen, turning slowly. Come on, Give me a success. I deserve one. Perception check failed. Thanks a lot. Do I have time to check the combat log and confirm? Nope, not the time to be an idiot. I turn in the direction of the skittering in time to make out the centipede's head enter the outer light, but it's on me before I expect it, as if it had been coiled and then exploded. The only saving grace is that its pincers don't close in time, because I'm down to a quarter health and when I crash. I pull a healing bar to my shield hand and bite the wrapper off as I back against the wall. That's one side it can't come at me from. Of course, the next image that pops in my head is that of the earlier worms that crawled out of the walls, and I can't stop the shudder. I only get a few bites in before I see motion at the edge of the darkness and send the bar to my inventory. Once I've survived this, I can finish it. I know it healed me, but not enough I can make a difference on my health. Okay. I don't like that I've got bar here and bar there. I get a few bites in before I see motion at the edge of the darkness and send the bar to my inventory. Send it to my inventory. I know it healed me, but I'm not enough. I can make out a difference on my bar. I talk about healing here. I might be able to get away without mentioning health bar. It appears at the edge twice, darting back, like it's trying to get me to chase it, and now I have to know. I open the combat log to the side and glance back and forth between it and the darkness, looking for how many of the centipedes I killed. 2 level 7 ones and 1 level 9. So it's just me and it and me, unless it's got reinforcement. I do hope it didn't. I'm really getting tired of those things. I am not chasing you, I call to it the next time it darts into the light and back. The problem is that I can't just stand here waiting it out. Silver should have come back at least close enough to see the light. She's still fine as far as her info on the team screen tells me, but she could still be lost, and that isn't good. The next time it appears, I do what I told it I wouldn't and follow. It freezes, then moves away again, almost like it was surprised I acted. It turns and I rush to follow the undulating body so I can get an opening, and utterly miss the end that snaps in the air and hits me. I roll and slide, landing in a thicker patch of goo, and I'm down to an eighth of my health. I hurry to my feet, scuffing the ground to try to gain traction as it rushes me again. I'm sure you think that was real clever, don't you? Its pincers are wide, and I bring my shield forward just before it's about to impact. I slide back from the force, but slip my arm out of the lanyard and throw myself to the side, then roll to my feet. Okay, how about we see how this goes if you can't use those on me? It spins around to face me, then shakes its head, trying to dislodge my shield, but it's jammed there. Its extended pincers keeping it in place. I walk around as it fights with it. This time, as it snaps the end of its body at me, I duck under it, raising my sword to slice that open. Its entire body... The entire body trashes and in the process exposes its undersides to me. And each time that happens, I cut it. It isn't always deep, but I'm always adding cuts, making it bleed. And eventually, it's still. I keep my distance. That one's too clever for my liking. I bring up the combat log and look at the last entry. You have killed a dungeon spider, level 9. You gain 1,521 experience. Now I breathe easier. I retrieve my shield by hacking at one of the pincers until it breaks off the body, then call the healing bar from my inventory, and Silver's distant scream is filled with fear. And that concludes chapter 52 of The World Which Is. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next chapter is going to be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read this story, it is up for free on Royal Road. If you want to read ahead of Royal Road and support me in the process, that is on my Patreon, where we are about 10 chapters ahead. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. The links are in the notes, and with that, I shall wish you a good day.